Hey guys, Joe here, and welcome back for another episode. Today's episode is on how to find traps. It's going to be pretty much some basic stuff. You can apply it at both Town Hall 7, 8, and 9. If you're at Town Hall 10 or 11, this is some pretty basic stuff you should already know how to do. However, if you're interested in sticking around and tuning in, yeah, go right ahead. So, yeah, the traps. There's absolutely nothing more frustrating than spending maybe 5 minutes or hours planning a raid and then getting in there and it all being ruined by not being able to locate the giant bomb locations or the Tesla locations or even the spring traps, or have a generalized idea of where the spring traps are. And besides, base designs have changed so much over the last couple years that there's also some new tricks that are being done, and then also still some old tricks that are still popping up that we have a hard time remembering where they're at or understanding how to locate the traps. And honestly, let's be frank, the traps are probably the most dangerous defensive item on your map. You can stare at a cannon or a archer tower or even an expo all day long and have a generalized idea on how to get in there and get them. However, it could all be ruined by coming across the double giant bomb location with your hog riders. So let's go ahead and get into the village editor. Most of you that have already built a base already understand this layout. And let's go ahead and remove everything and look at the map as a whole. The map itself is 44 by 44 tiles. The little squares of different colors of tiles, and there's 1,936 tiles total. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here and I'm going to place one single piece of wall to represent a single tile. Now let's go ahead and start with our first trap today, the Tesla. The Tesla is very dangerous, and it's also the P.E.K.K.A.'s worst enemy. And if you pay attention to that bright green underneath the Tesla, that's actually signifying 2x2 tiles, so that the Tesla itself is 2x2 tiles on the map. Now let's go ahead and grab a giant bomb, the Hog Rider's worst enemy, if you will, and that also is 2x2 tiles. Now let's go ahead and pull the next item that the Hog Riders hate the most, and that would be the spring traps, which is one tile, and then a single bomb, which is one tile as well, and then your air traps, your air bomb, and then your seeking air mine is also one tile, as well as the notorious skeleton trap, also one tile. So let's go ahead and get in here and scout a base. And first things first with this base, is pretty symmetrical design. It's not an anti-3-star at all, it's actually an anti-2. And I really want you to use your imagination right now. If you look in the southern compartment, let's go ahead and place two giant bombs here in this location. And then again in the northern compartment, there's also a 4x2 tile slot for two more giant bombs. And then in between these four corners, or the northwest and eastern compartments, there are spots in between the mortar and cannon and archer tower for a spring trap. And then if you actually look around the town hall, there's a 2x2 position in 4 different locations, which would definitely signify Teslas. So when scouting a base, we're not just looking at the archer towers or the cannons or the expos or even the clan castle for that matter, even though the first thing we want to get rid of on these Town Hall 9s is that Archer Queen and the enemy clan castle. Those are always nice, but if you actually look at this base, let's say we bring in a mass group of hogs from this northwestern position, and then they're going to come in and they're going to go after this cannon, this archer tower, and then they're going to continue to sweep down through, hitting that mortar, then the cannon. You're going to probably lose a couple of hogs due to the spring trap there, and then they move towards that air defense as well as that wizard tower, and then they're going to find that double giant bomb location. And with that being said, at that point in the raid, no matter where your kill squad is, you've already lost your hogs. That is basically the end of the raid. So yeah, taking the time to actually scout out these bases and look for possible trap locations, you can actually determine where you're going to place your hogs, whether you're going to actually do a mass hog attack or you're going to do a surgically placed hog attack. So let's go ahead and get this one live and see what this attacker does. I'm pretty sure this was a cleanup attack because he brings in his hog riders in the south and then again in the north, both exposing 2 different giant bombs as well as bringing out that clan castle. Then he brings his kill squad up through the south, which is kind of odd because he already knows that there's 2 giant bombs left over in those 2 different positions in the north and the south. I mean, I understand trying to take out the enemy Archer Queen and the clan castle. However, yeah, there's just a lot of different positions that he could have definitely come in on and probably done a little bit better than what he does, considering the fact that he loses his golems so early in the raid, as he's doing right now. He's got already golemites and 1 full golem about to go into golemites, and then he's got his heroes kind of circling around, and then all of his wizards, his high DPS troops are already gone. So he's already pretty much lost the bulk majority of what was necessary to make this attack successful. He drops his Hog Riders in and exposes that last giant bomb in the south. And as I said before, in between these northwestern positions, there's going to be a spring trap, which there was. And he's got a couple of heal spells down right now. But at this point in the raid, the kill squad is gone, his golems are gone. So now, with the golems gone, not deterring anything, his hogs are the ones that are taking the blunt force of all the remaining defenses, and that's actually really bad because the heal spell doesn't make your Hog Riders immune to anything. It just assists them getting their health up, but with the remaining defenses that are left over, it's just very overpowering. And they saved all those wizards for the remainder of the attack, so he probably could have got a little bit more out of his kill squad than what he actually did. However, this attack lulls out at about 85%, so all that scouting was great, and it's actually a nice technique to try out if you're trying to lure a clan castle and if you have a base that has easily exposed double giant bomb locations like this one does. However, the heal spells aren't going to carry the hogs throughout the raid. The kill squad's got to help out a little bit there. And yeah, let's go ahead and move into the next raid. I'm going to show you one more raid, a different base layout. This is a pretty common one we're seeing lately, or some type of variant of it. You got a pretty hollowed out core with the clan castle in the center, and there's plenty of spots for giant bombs and Teslas. However, pay attention to these northwest, southwest, and most eastern compartments. You have plenty of spots for giant bomb locations. And I see a 3x2 up here in the northwestern compartment, a 4x2 compartment down in the southwestern compartment, and then again over in the most eastern compartment you got another 3x2. So there's plenty of spots for giant bombs, and really the idea here is for you to bring Hog Riders in and get them in a mass group, and then they try to sweep through in a circular pattern around this southern portion of the base. And what ends up happening if you do that is you strike in all these giant bomb locations and losing your Hog Riders due to spring traps. So really what Atomic does here is he actually brings some Valkyries. He's got bowlers in his clan castle to really change things up a little bit. But he understood the placement of these giant bomb locations, and it really helps out. So let's go ahead and get this one live. And as you see here, we got a Queen Walk in the north. He brings in a Queen Walk in the north, and a very short Queen Walk, takes out a couple of structures for funneling purposes. And really what he intends to do here with these Valkyries is more of a circular motion because of how fast they are, that they kind of skip over poorly placed spring traps, and they trigger giant bombs really fast. So as he's combating that enemy Archer Queen there, he uses her Royal Cloak ability, and then he drops his bowlers. And he wants his bowlers to actually go inside, so he drops a bunch of wizards up there to take out that elixir drill and actually get those bowlers inside the base. And bowlers really opened up a completely new world at Town Hall 9 in the sense that that double balance, they're taking out multiple structures at once instead of just one, and then he uses a jump spell to move those Valkyries down through. And as you see here, there goes one giant bomb there. It is not a double place one, it's actually just a single. Uses a heal spell to keep those Valkyries rolling, and as you notice in the west, he's got surgically placed hogs. He drops 3, and then he drops 3 more to start moving in, and you'll see here in a second he actually exposes another giant bomb location, drops a heal there just in case that they do. There's one giant bomb, and I believe there's actually one more in there as he drops the rest of his remaining hogs. I think he has 4 more hogs for the eastern portion of the base. And yep, there goes the second giant bomb in that location. And as you see here, the boulders are still in the core of the base. There was absolutely nothing in the core of the base. It was actually more of a natural funnel by having just that clan castle in the core like that, and then it basically pulled those boulders into the core, took care of the clan castle, and yeah, now they're on the inside of the base, just destroying items in these other compartments while the Valkyries are still cleaning up and the remaining Hog Riders are picking off the last couple of defenses. And as you saw there, yet again, Springtrap strikes again in those single tile compartment areas and destroys his last hog on the base. But it's a little too late at this point. There's still plenty of bowlers on the map and healers that are assisting these bowlers and Barbarian King get through the rest of this base. So with all that being said, when you look at your base, before you actually just jump in there and pay attention to the hard structures that you can see, take the time to actually look at the trap locations and the design of the base. It might actually help you out in both your planning and the execution of your attacks on the first try, for that matter. Drop some comments below, and as always, you take care.